Your mic.
Welcome back. I got my man Jared in the house. He's helping with all this stuff. We will make this right next week, I guarantee you. He's got mad skills everywhere. Thank y'all for checking us out. Rellism Live Sports Talk, episode 122. Thank you for watching, obviously, on YouTube, listen on podcasts. Taking on all comers all the time. We got a love for my mama, and love for the mamba. You know what I'm saying? He's a fellow Washington fan, too, so you know we getting it in like that. Especially since it's week one of the NFL coming up. But Rellism Sports Talk, where we talk about sports from Hall of Famers to the local talent to the big-time storylines. And I think my man has got me on here. We're going to talk about the college football after week one. I saw enough to tell you the 4 teams already is going to make the playoff. That's why I can't wait to the expansion with the 12 teams, because I already know who the 4 teams are, and I'm going to let y'all know. And then week one, everything. I'm going through fantasy, each position, the best rookie performance I think we're going to have, and the division games. Which one's the best one, and the implications that we have, and who's it important to? What second-year player is going to do this? I'm going through everything week one without giving you my picks, because I'm in a lot of things, especially the big board. I ain't giving away nothing to everybody that's in our Raw Sports Talk League, or anybody that's in the pick'ems that I'm doing. Y'all not getting information from me, and I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking tomorrow either. But anyway, so we started off with the college football. You leaving it?
I'm out.
I appreciate
The Mets
you.
are playing. I got to go, man.
Hey, and the Mets are winning, too. Jared, thank you again. Like I said, he is going to tear it up for me. He's got all kinds of things in the works. So this was just a hiccup when you see what he's going to do next week. Hold on, let me get my hat right. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. All right, so college football. It was a lot of crazy games, a lot of things going on. It was fun week. It was a fun week. And here I am in Harrisonburg, Virginia, where James Madison just joined the Sun Belt Conference. And they got a big win. They were favored to lose by 5. Big win. So I'm hyped to see this. And this goes back to my whole theory about having a Division I, with the big boys, and then like a Division II with the ones that's at the Power 5 schools. If y'all seen a previous show, that's what I be talking about. So let's get to it. We saw the big boys win, Alabama. They're going to do what they're going to do against whoever they playing against. I don't know. But Ohio State had a big game against my boys, Notre Dame. And they came through. CJ, Heisman Trophy favorite, he looked okay. Looks all right. He did his things. Georgia dismantled Oregon. I'm talking about dismantled Oregon. So the consensus is, I led it up to it, that's the consensus 3 that's going to be in there at the end. We all think Alabama's going to be there, whether they even lost the game or not. And really the only team they play that can give them any kind of anything is Texas A&M. And Texas A&M's on the road. And after all that beef between the coaches, I think them Tide are going to roll all over. I hope they lose. No offense, George T. Because that's my man. That's what. Look, I gotta get things organized with this new camera. Sorry. Anyway, but and speaking of George T, he's gonna be on CBS doing the Cowboys games. My man is doing big things, like he wasn't doing them already. But so I think Bama is automatically gonna be there. Georgia is the other SEC thing I think's got to be there because they're not playing nobody in the SEC. Who are they playing in the SEC? They ain't playing none of the big boys, and I think they'll be undefeated, and they're going to go SEC championship game. And as long as they don't get destroyed by Alabama, they should still be even with one loss. I think both of them, they're going to be undefeated. The winner of that game, loser of the game. Both of them going to make it. One's going to be number 1. One might be number 3 or 4. I think it's a given. That's what the SEC does. That's just what they do. Then we get to the last 2 teams. We started looking at the teams, started looking at the Pac-12. People are all high on Lincoln Riley and USC. Not sold. I think they're a year away. And another team that's a year away, that's number 7 ranked, Oklahoma. I just can't say it because I think the Big 12 and the Pac-12 don't play enough solid teams to get there. And really, the Oklahoma plays some teams that are ranked like Baylor and such. That might give them an early loss anyway. So I think they're just going to beat up on each other. Nobody's going to really stand out. I think West Virginia over there might beat up all of them, which they should have beat Pitt. Then we look at the ACC. And I'm looking at the ACC and I'm saying, Florida State, big win. I'm glad y'all beat Brian Kelly because I hate him now. ACC, who's really going to stand out? I know Miami's ranked. NC State was ranked, but they almost lost to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Virginia Tech lost to ODU. So we started looking at Florida State and FSU. When they play each other, it's going to be a whole lot of big-time storylines because that's just the history of the teams. But I just can't see either one of them doing anything. And then the darling of the ACC, Clemson. What are they looking like? Clemson ain't doing nothing for me. Their quarterback was supposed to take the next step right now. He was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the guy last year, which Notre Dame beat him, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't look that good to me anyway. I think Clemson, they're number, what are they, 5, 4, or whatever? I just can't see them winning those big games like that. They don't impress me. So the ACC, Big 12, Pac-12, I think they're all done. And especially, can Bo Nix go away? Can you graduate Bo Nix? Please? It seems like you've been playing at Auburn for like 15 years and never won a big game. And now you're at Oregon. And I'm sitting there like, dude, and you got destroyed again? Please go in the XFL or something because you ain't good. Stop transferring and go away. So we started knocking off these teams that I think will either beat each other up or not be qualified to get there. So we started looking at the last two teams. Michigan had a big win. They made the playoff last year. Ohio State. I think they both could be undefeated when they play. They played the last game of the year. Whatever. I think that could be a big game. But honestly, I don't think Michigan is ready for that. I don't think they're ready for that. Watching the game, it was just certain things that didn't stand out to me. I think Ohio State, as they keep playing, will get better and better. And you'll start seeing that explosive offense to be what everybody thought they were going to be because they thought they were going to score like 60 points against us. So that leaves the last team, and that's going to be us. That's going to be us. Just because we lose to Ohio State on the road, first game of the year by 11, but it was a late touchdown for that. We were battling. So either Notre Dame is finally starting to get to that hump to battle with the big boys, or Ohio State just ain't going to be that good without their coach leaving. That's going to be a debate for another day. But I think it's that we that good. And I think our Freeman, our coach, is bringing it to us, baby. He's bringing a little extra swag to us. You know what I'm saying? Notre Dame ain't never really had that swag like that. You know what I'm saying? We the Golden Domers. We sell ourselves on that. But, like, our coaches never really had that. And Freeman seemed like he got that. I ain't done yet. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I think. It's going to be Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, and them Notre Dame boys. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Michigan, Clemson. I think y'all are going to be the ones left out. Y'all are going to be the ones hoping that y'all get the 12 teams sooner than later because I don't even see next year. I don't see things changing next year, honestly. You know what I mean? I don't see much things changing as far as the top of it goes. So don't sleep on my boys Notre Dame because we're going to beat Clemson. We're going to beat USC, Stanford, BYU that's ranked. When we beat these teams, that's when you're going to see our ranking go from number 7 or 8 to that 4 spot or to that 3 spot. Whatever it is, whatever way we don't have to play Ohio State again is what they're going to do. If we have to play Alabama in the first game, 4-1, so be it. We know how that goes. But maybe this is a different day for a different game. That would be the best if we could ever beat Alabama. But we'll get to that. If we get there, I'm happy with it. So as we start going along, we start thinking about things. Week 1 of the NFL is tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, week 1. I'm getting phone calls, I'm getting texts, emails, all kinds of things. What you think about this? What you think about that? I like it because y'all know I'm knowledgeable. So that's why as we're talking, I'm putting on my 3 rings from last year. Yeah, 3 fantasy rings from last year where I won the leagues. So I'm going to give you fantasy advice. Who you should play, who you shouldn't play, or watch out for, best performances. We're going to talk about some of the games. I'm not going to give you my picks. Like I said, I have a lot of, maybe a little dinero invested in some of those and on the big board for the Raw Sports Talk League. So here in 1 second, I'm going to pause for the podcast so I can get that little commercial in there, you know what I mean? I'm going to pause for 1 second while I get my belt and my rings together. And then we diving into week 1 of the NFL. Be right back. Week 1 in the NFL. Week 1 in the NFL. This is what we've been waiting for. Everybody's sports fans, whatever, but it's something different about the NFL. Whether it's betting, gambling, fantasy, or whatnot, it's just something different about the NFL. So when we start looking at the NFL, there's 4 games that are divisional matchups in week 1. And when I see that, I'm like, they try to pop it off. You already popping it off with the Rams versus the Bills. Then Sunday night's the Cowboys versus the Bucks. So they know where their bread is buttered as far as star power goes. NFL's smart, you know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing. But when we look at the Packers versus the Vikings in Minnesota, then we look at the Patriots versus the Dolphins. So let me just go back. Packers versus the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, first game. Now he's on the road. Devontae Adams is gone. The Vikings are trying to prove something. Could this be the start of something special? Justin Jefferson maybe number 1 fantasy wide receiver. New coach bringing in that Rams offense. Then you got the Patriots. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with them? But they've dominated this division. Maybe not last year. The Fins, they didn't spend all this money, but you still got Tua. Big game. Then you got the Raiders and Chargers. Probably the hardest division to call, AFC West. That division is so tight. That I have Denver not making the playoffs and being last place. That close to doing it to the Chiefs. That's not gonna be something that people like to hear. And then the last one in the division, Steelers finally named Mitchell Trubisky their quarterback, start quarterback versus the Bengals. So when I look at these games, and I'm sitting there like, which one is the most important for making a statement to go on for the rest of the year to win that division? Which one is the most important to win that division if you can get a big win there? And out of those 4, I'm going with the Vikings because ultimately I think the Bills are going to win the Dolphins and Patriots division. I think the Chargers will win their division. And the Bengals and Steelers and Ravens and the Browns guys, I mean, who knows who can win that division. But I think the Vikings, if you want to make a stand, Vikings, and say that we're a different team, we're not the same punching bag, getting beat up all the time by Aaron Rodgers, this is your game to win, to prove a point that, hey, we here to win the division. And I think if the Vikings win this game, they will win the division. It's a big time storyline if that happens. Speaking of big time storylines, so I got 4 quarterbacks that are playing a team that affected their career last year. And I'm going to tell you which one's the most important. So the first one I got on here, obviously Baker Mayfield versus the Browns. And then we got, not even quarterbacks, because I got Von Miller going against Buffalo for tomorrow's game. And then, of course, Russell Wilson going to Seattle. Woohoo. And then Carson Wentz, my boy, going back to the Jaguars where you lost your job and didn't even make the playoffs because I don't know why you couldn't beat them. I don't know what was going on. But the most important as far as going along with the season, I think Russell Wilson's fine. Even if he just pooped the bed and lost to Seattle, they've invested in him. They just paid him. So he has no worries about it. Von Miller, you're at the end of your career. You're there. If you lose one game, it doesn't matter. They're still your friends. You talk highly about them. You're always going to be going in the Hall of Fame as a Bronco, so it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Plus, if y'all do lose, Buffalo is still the favorite, so who cares? I mean, the Rams are still one of the favorites, so it doesn't matter. So it comes down to Wentz and Baker. What's Baker now? Sam Darnold's hurt. I don't think he has no worries. I don't think he has no worries about nothing anymore. I think it's Carson Wentz. I think if Carson Wentz loses game 1, week 1 to the Jaguars at home, the way that I saw Tyler Heineke, in which I have no faith in him, it's really the rookie, Sam Howell out of UNC. I think if he loses to the Jaguars, and we already see how the Eagles are favored and the Cowboys are favorite. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about Washington anyway. Chase Young's not going to miss part of the year. You know what I mean? Our running back gets shot. I mean, Washington's just a travesty. That's what happens when you have an owner that's a piece of crap. That's what happens. It trickles downhill, and that bad luck trickles down, unfortunately, for the team. But I think it has to be Wentz because Sam Howell looked all right. Would I be happy if he played? Probably not, because I know this could be a waste of season. But he looked all right, and I think the most pressure is going to be on Wentz for that. All right. So the QB that must win week 1. Must. You must win, or else it's going to be problems. And I think it's 2. I think it's 2 people that's tied up. It's 2 people. We're going to start with the first one who just got his job announced, Mitchell Trubisky. Because I'll tell you what, every time I saw the boy Pickett come in, people were loving some Pickett. My boy Keith loves Pickett. He thinks he might be the next best thing. And we used to argue all the time about Roethlisberger. And Roethlisberger, hey, he did his thing. And so maybe Keith knows what he's talking about. But don't lay an egg week 1, Trubisky. Don't lay an egg week 1. Because if you do, the Boo Birds are going to come out for you to be out of there. And Pickett's going to get all the glory. So, and then the other person he tied with is Tua. Because Tua, you got all the money spent on your team. All the money spent on your team. You're playing against a Patriots team that they say they don't even know who the offensive coordinator is. They've looked horrible in camp and all these things. Don't lose to the Patriots at home after all that money was spent. When we already talked about Brady going there, Watson going there, trying to trade for this person. Don't do it. Don't do it. So them 2 quarterbacks, I really feel like they need to show up. At least, I'm not saying you have to win the game, but you better show up and don't look like you're the reason why they lost the game. You know what I mean? The team that has to win, that's much needed to win. It's the same team I just talked about, the Dolphins. The Dolphins, you have to win. You have to win. You are one of those teams that's right on the skirts of being in the playoffs, but you spent so much money on the team and all the problems that was talking about the team and everything else. You don't win this first game, it's going to snowball, and every negative thing that's happened with Miami is going to show up big time in front of your face. Miami, Tua, week 1, at home against the Patriots. You better win. You better win. And if you don't, Derek and Brian, if y'all lose, Swole Daddy's going to be in y'all on Friday night. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That game's going to be crazy. Regardless who wins, it's going to be a lot of trash talking on Friday night with Swole Daddy and Derek and Brian. I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. All right, so we talked about that. The best second-year performance out of the QBs, and we talking about Trevor Lawrence playing Washington. We looking at Justin Fields, out here doing things against the 49ers. But I really think it's going to be the 49ers quarterback. I've always been high on Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to be spectacular against the Bears. I think it's going to be spectacular. I think that he don't care if Jimmy Garoppolo's back there or not. He's out here to do things. Whether George Kittle plays or not, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Now, as a blocker, I think it would help him, but it don't matter. I think Trey Lance, week 1, spectacular. Trey Lance, week 1. If you have any kind of, you don't know if you want to play him or whatever, you draft him as a backup, you might want to play him week 1. All right. The biggest upset. I got 2. I got 2 biggest upsets. Does that mean I'm picking them in the pool? Maybe not, because money's involved. But these are games that I will not be surprised if they happen. The number 1 is the Giants beating the Titans. And I know everybody's going to laugh at me except for my man Skilla Instinct Chris. I'm just not sold on the Titans, dude. I feel like they haven't done anything. Preseason never showed me anything. Derrick Henry's coming back, but how much is Derrick Henry really going to do now? A.J. Brown is gone. The Giants, new coach, new everything. Saquon Barkley's looking like Saquon Barkley. You got wide receivers taking less money to stay. Something might be going on in New York that we're not talking about because we know both offense and defensive lines gotten solid. Even though I know my man Kevin Thibodeau or whatever's hurt, he might not play. But it's a sneaky thing about them Giants. At least I think they'll probably cover whatever the spread is. But my number one upset that I would not be shocked at all is them Eagles, who are favored to win the NFC East. And Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and all these people they've added, all these things. Oh, they're so great. Oh, Eagles fly, Eagles fly. They got to go on the road to play against a team that I am super high on, super duper high on, in the Lions. And it's not Hard Knocks telling me this at all. I'm big time on Swift. I'm big time on St. Brown. I think Goff's gonna be one of these guys that makes a step. You know what I mean? You went to a Super Bowl. You can't be that much of a scrub, homie. I mean, come on. I think the Lions, who were battle tested last year, they didn't win a lot of games, but they were battling teams the whole season. I think their coach, former player, I think they will run through walls for him. All I'm saying is, as far as the money line goes in the spread, I would take the Lions over the Eagles. And I won't be surprised if the Lions beat the Eagles week 1. We saw college football week 1, all kinds of crazy upsets, things, and near upsets. I think week 1 in the NFL is going to be the exact same way. Exact same way. My biggest blowout is back to what I said about Trey Lance. I think the Bears might be the worst team in football this year by far. And I think Trey Lance is going to destroy them. I think he's going to shred them, running the ball, throwing the ball. I can see Trey Lance having 4 total touchdowns and 80 to 100 yards rushing. I think he could have that big of a game. It's crazy. And the defense of the 49ers, I think that's a smart play too. I see Shimon trying to trade Keith for him. I see you, Shimon. He's trying to get him for week 1. When you win week 1 in fantasy, it's like, at least I'm 1-0. You know, you can talk trash for another week. That's why I got my rings on. I can wear these until the end of the year in case I don't win. So you don't be wearing these all the time. And my biggest statement win. So I guess I am telling y'all one pick. So everybody competing against me and all the different things, I'm going to give y'all a little help. I'm going to tell you one game that I picked as the most amazing, biggest statement win of the season. And I think it's going to carry on because he's my sleeper MVP pick, Kyler Murray. I got the Cardinals at home over the Chiefs. Cardinals at home, no Hopkins, over the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to have to figure things out, work on it. Remember back in the day, when Tom Brady was with the Patriots, a few years they were trying to figure things out. The first 4 weeks they might be 2-2, 1-2, and then they win 10 in a row. And I think the Chiefs could be something like that in the very beginning. And I think week 1 in Arizona, where everybody's happy now, everybody's got their money. I think the connection to Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray is going to show up week 1 against that suspect Chiefs defense. So there's what I'm giving y'all right there because I'm taking them Cardinals. Taking them Cardinals to do it. Yeah, we gonna see. All right, so now the bread and butter, the biggest thing. I'm gonna have to go ahead and snatch it up real quick. The belt, since I am the champion, Rellism Sports Talk League. I better enjoy it because it's a tough league. These boys out here, tough. So I'm really gonna enjoy it while I got it right now, just in case. So I'm gonna give you the best rookie performance, best running back performance, wide receiver, quarterback, tight end, and defense. Okay? So the best defense, I think I already gave it away. 49ers defense. I think week 1, 49ers defense I think they're going to score the most points against Justin Fields. I think he's going to have one of those days where he might do okay in fantasy as far as getting 80 yards rushing, but he's going to throw a pick or 2, maybe fumble, some things like that. So real life, it's not going to be good. The 49ers defense is going to get some points. My backup one would be the Ravens against the Jets and Joe Flacco. I think the Ravens are another solid pick also. All right, the best tight end, somebody I've been high on the whole time. If anybody knows me, knows I'm a Kyle Pitts dude. I got him on almost every one of my fantasy teams. I think it's a breakout season. I think this is the season that he didn't learn from last year. Still did okay last year. I think this is the year. Kyle Pitts, Marcus Mariota. Because remember, Marcus Mariota loved the tight end when he was in Tennessee. He loved that. So I think Kyle Pitts is gonna be the dude. I think Kyle Pitts is gonna be the dude for that offense. I mean, who else they gonna throw it to? Drake London and Who else? I mean, I think Kyle Pitts is going to be that guy. Matchups against linebackers, he's the guy, I think. All right, best wide receiver performance in fantasy. I kind of gave it away with my statement win, the Cardinals. I think I already kind of gave it away. I think it's going to be Hollywood Brown. I think Hollywood might catch 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving, maybe 10 catches, maybe something like that. I think he's going to lead all receivers in points for fantasy week 1. Kyler Murray is probably going to be number 2 as far as quarterback. I'll let you know who the number 1 quarterback is. But I think Kyler Murray might be like 2, yo. I think that they're going to put up some numbers, and them 2 together, which I do have on one of my teams, is that combo. I think that that's what's going to happen with that. The best running back performance, I think this was tough for me because I looked at all kinds of different things, PPR and all kinds of things. But the PPR monsters, I think they're going to get some solid defenses, really. So I'm going to go back with my old faithful, Mr. Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is probably the best downhill rusher in the league. He'll catch some balls with Kareem Hunt there. He's not going to get all those. They're playing it's a Panthers front that I think he's going to run through. They're not going to want to have Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball a lot anyway, so I think they're going to lean on the run. And I think Chubb is going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the best fantasy running back for week 1. All right, the best rookie performance. And this is going to be off the radar. Maybe some people are thinking about it, maybe they're not. I'm going with Jalen Tolbert of the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert is going to be the number 2 receiver for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott's going to throw the ball. I know the owner, Jerry Jones, wants to lean on Zeke and all these things. I think Tolbert's going to be a guy that's going to be favored because CeeDee Lamb's going to get covered a lot. I got him. I think he's going to have a great year. But I think week 1, Jalen Tolbert's going to be one of these guys that just happens to catch 2 touchdown passes on like maybe 5 catches, 4 catches for like 60-some yards. But those 2 touchdowns are going to be big. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to have a volume of plays because I still think that Zeke, Pollard, and CeeDee Lamb are going to get the majority of the meals. And, sprinkle a little Dalton Schultz too. But I think he's going to be the one that scores some touchdowns sneakily. So that's my rookie performance for week 1. And finally, the quarterback. The one that everybody cares about the most. The number 1 quarterback in fantasy week 1 will ultimately be my downfall in the Raw League. Because it's going to be Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, because I've been dogging him all year about being overrated and things. And I like Lamar. I just think he's dumb not getting this money and holding out. It's not that I don't like you, Lamar. Don't kill me. But I think he is. I think he's going against the Jets defense that he's coming out to say, you don't want to give me my contract? I'm going to show you what you're missing. And I think that he's going to go out there and explode all over the Jets. Partly because I'm playing against him. And maybe I'm doing it praying that Hensbro drinks. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do to Drew. Maybe. But I'm worried about that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm worried about Lamar. I think he's gonna be the number 1 quarterback. Week 1's gonna be great. Thank you again for checking us out, man. I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties, but my man Jared, he knows what he's doing. We're gonna figure all this out. What he's got in store for this channel is dope. Just realize that everything that we're doing is trying to enhance this channel. We're trying to make it a daily thing, Monday through Sunday, somebody being on here. Other kind of quality people, just like myself. But we have tons of people on our Raw channel. Tommy, Brandon, Keith. So we got tons of people that are knowledgeable in other sports. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it more than just football, basketball. We're trying to get all kinds of things involved for whatever you guys want. You know what I'm saying? You guys let us know it. Let us know on the Facebook page that my man Tommy's running, Rellism Sports Talk. Hit us up on Twitter, at Terrell452. Instagram, Coach T247. Check us out. Hit us out. Leave something in the message box. Thank you guys, man. This has been cool. I can't wait. Football tomorrow. I'm doing custom merchandise tomorrow. Anytime y'all need that, let me know. Hit us up. Thank you guys for everybody's support and everybody's patience. Like I said, my man Jared's going to be on here doing things too. I can't wait till y'all see what's going to happen next week. And we're going to have a whole lot of football to talk about. And also the big time storylines. Last year's champion. I got to enjoy it while I can because these boys are coming after me. Love you, mama. Thank you guys for checking us out. See you next week.